It's your destiny to greatness with Dr. C and Brothers Keeper. Today, where we've been, where we're going, and Friday trivia. And now, here are Dr. C and Brothers Keeper.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Your Destiny to Greatness. Dr. C here, so glad that you're here with us.
Yes, I'm excited to be here today too, and I am Brothers Keeper.
Yes. Well, Brothers Keeper, how are you?
I'm fine.
You are?
Yes.
Well, good. I'm glad. It just makes our experience together that much greater.
Yes.
I'm doing well myself.
Yeah, thank you.
Not that everything in life is going right, but it is well.
Thank God.
Yes, indeed. And that brings me to our subject for today.
Mm-hmm.
I forgive me. You know, Brothers Keeper, many times we touch on forgive and forgiveness, and we know we are supposed to forgive others, and often we want to be forgiven. But sometimes in the midst of all that, we still hold on to too much guilt and shame, and we need to get to the point of where we forgive ourselves.
Yes, and I may have said it on an earlier show.
Mm-hmm.
We are our own worst critics many times,
Sure.
and it could be something more devastating that we will forgive someone else for.
Mm-hmm.
It could be something minor, but we see it as major, and we stumble when it's time to forgive ourselves so we can move forward and move past it.
Right. And I know I've experienced a couple of times in my life knowing people who would not come to the Lord. They couldn't bring themselves to come to the Lord because they just thought that they were so bad, that they had done so many things that were just so wrong that the Lord wouldn't forgive them. But that's not the case.
No.
And they missed out on the beauty and the glory that we've experienced
Yes.
by getting His forgiveness because they couldn't get to that point.
Now, and I'm assuming they're not understanding that He's a loving God.
Oh my gosh.
And
He
once we
really
confess
is.
the sins to Him, He is apt to forgive us of those sins. Because He don't see a big sin or a little sin.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It is
Because
sin.
we're as filthy rags to Him anyway. So He already knows our sinful nature is going to cause us to do things that are contrary to those things that He would have us to do.
Yes.
So there's no need for us to prolong coming back to Him when we fall to the wayside, because had it not been for someone doing it, where did the term backslider come from? So it came
Right,
somewhere.
exactly.
Yeah.
And Jesus is married
Yeah, to the backslider.
backslider.
Yes.
He is. So I forgive me. That's what we're talking about today. And we want to share with you, and may not be too much enlightening, but maybe it's encouragement to some of you. So while we're going to take this short break, think about where you are. Have you forgiven yourself? And if not, we do pray by the end of this show that you will be on the path to your forgiveness of you. We'll be right back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're talking today about I forgive me. Brothers Keeper, I have learned, and I've gotten to that point where I forgive me.
Yes.
And what helped me to get to that point, to drop all that other heavy baggage of guilt and shame and embarrassment or anything like that that was keeping me from the Lord, I had to remember that once I asked Him to forgive me, then He would separate those sins from me just as far as the east is from the west. So that was one thing that helped me.
What helped me was the fact that I understood that on this journey we will go through some things.
Mm-hmm.
And until we go through some things, how can we understand how far we've made it down the journey? And as you said, once we forgive self, we can operate on a different level than we were before.
Sure, definitely.
And I often tell people that many things that I went through, they weren't comfortable. I often tell people that I would not trade who I am today for anything. All the good, all the bad, it came together to make who I am today. Am I perfect? No.
Right,
But
right.
I forgive myself daily. I pray daily, and I try to move forward, and whatever was.
Right, exactly. So in asking the Lord to forgive me of my sins and words, thoughts and deeds every day, then that helps me to remember that no, I'm not perfect. And when I ask him to take whatever it is that I'm asking for forgiveness for, take it away, then I have to let it go.
Yes. I had an occasion where I was talking to the Lord before I went into service, one of my stops, and whatever was going on, it may not have been, sometimes people hear stuff, they think it's something
Right.
maybe sexual or major in that area.
Yeah.
But it does have to be, because it can be little things can stumble us up.
That's true.
And I'm walking in and trying to stay on course, and pops up in my head, there's no temptation such that common to man.
Right.
Well, what? Oh, you heard me. Oh, I guess that means I'm on alert.
Prepping.
Yeah.
Preparing.
So I won't have to be coming back and ask for forgiveness for so much
Right.
that day.
Right, exactly.
Because we'll slip and fall many times, but those little things like that happen all day long, but it's whether or not we recognize it to help us
Yes.
along our way.
So, yeah, slipping and falling. However, true repentance means that we are godly sorry and we don't go back to whatever that we situation or circumstance that we were repenting for. So that's what that's all about, because even Jesus, when the woman who was accused of adultery in John 8,
Yeah.
when she was brought before him, and I mean, they wanted to just have that
Stone her,
woman
yeah.
killed. But Jesus, once they all went away and he put them in their place, he asked her, or he told her to go and sin no more. And that's serious. So no matter what she had done, he had forgiven her, but he was saying, don't go back to that. So because I've forgiven you, you can forgive yourself too, but do not continue to go back to the pit.
Stay out of the fire. Because sooner or later, we shall be burned.
Yeah, exactly. If it didn't work, though that first time or times, it's not going to work anymore either.
No.
So,
Are we going to be smoking or non-smoking?
well, I'm staying with that non-smoking.
Okay.
I really am.
Okay.
And in that, I feel good about just laying aside every weight.
Yes.
Every weight, everything. So, even you who are watching, there may be things that you've said, things that you've done, and even things that you've thought in your mind that you feel guilty for, or you're hurting and you don't know how to let it loose. But first and foremost, ask God to forgive you and help you, because he truly does work on the inside out. And when he does that, get into that word and just continue to learn and know that he is a loving God. And a loving God, once he's forgiven you, he's not going to hold those things over your head. You can forgive yourself too.
Well spoken.
Good, good. So in just a moment, we're going to come back and tie this up and slide right into our Friday trivia question. We'll be right back.
Okay, we're back. And we're going to run right into Friday trivia. But beforehand, we'll talk a little about a situation in the Bible. And we all know, since we're coming off Easter, that Jesus was on the cross and he had two malefactors, one on each side of him on the cross. One had never came to terms with what he had done, so he kind of talked, as we would say, smart to Jesus, as if he was trying to tempt him or see whether he really was the Messiah. The other, and it's just me thinking, on the other hand, took responsibility for his actions, and in a sense, he was saying, "I forgive me. I am prepared. I am ready to face the penalty of what I have done." The question today is, what was the last thing that the malefactor who have forgiven himself said to Jesus?
Okay. So, talking about the one that feared
The Lord.
Okay, so what was
His last request to Jesus.
okay, so what was the malefactor's last request to Jesus? The one who feared Jesus.
Yes.
Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. So send your answers in. Thank you for continuing to participate. It really helps. It helps us to know that you're right there with us. Get your answer in by tonight, 11:59
PM.
Yes, and you can email your answers to your.destinytogreatness@gmail.com.
Hi, this is Brother's Keeper. I have a tip for you today. If we look outside, we can see that with every passing day, summer is slowly but surely coming upon us. And my tip for today is some of you elderly people, now that we know the heat is coming and the pollen's falling, it might be a good idea to consult your doctor to see what kind of shape that you're in, so you'll be prepared for whatever the summer weather may bring to us. And for you younger folk, don't take for granted, because we are younger and seemingly stronger, that we're not susceptible to whatever may go wrong in this weather. So we may all need to get checked out, so we'll be fit and ready to have an enjoyable day every day. And then if you can understand, you yell out and tell them, "This is my season for grace, for favor. This is my season to reap what I have sown." Have a great summer. It's just me thinking again. How often do we think about the fact that the more we try to trust in God, the more the enemy seems to come up against us? Well, I'm here today to tell you, stay prayed up. Just continually pray to God about the situation. Because when the enemy see you doing better and you're trying to live for God, that puts them on alert. They sense your presence. So they're always on the lookout to see where they can put a stumbling block to knock you down. Keep your head up, but at the same time, be monitoring your situation, because evil is always at hand. But if God is for us, who can be against us? He always allows us to be able to find a solution to the problem, and if not, go to Him. He will have a solution for us. Sometimes it may not be the solution that we like to have, but it's probably what's best for us, because He always has unmerited favor for us. So keep your head up, press forward, and stay encouraged. It's just me thinking again.
We are destined for greatness.
What are you going to do, ladies and gentlemen? I know what you're going to do. What you should do is hold your head up and keep moving. It does not matter how many haters, doubters you have surrounding you. Stay focused. Stay focused on you. Stay focused on the plan that God has for you. And when you do that, you will surely find that the further you begin to move towards Jesus, the further away those haters and doubters will be. So, it's all good. It will be great. And if it's not right now, you have to believe. See it and believe it. And I promise things will get better. Go ahead and walk towards your destiny.
We are destined for